What's going on today, La Familia? What the business is? What y'all got going? How y'all doing today, family? We got a bunch to talk about for today. Bunch of things in sports. And first off, I want to start it off with my boy, Errol Spence Jr. And I know y'all wondering who this is right here, man. It's my guy, EJ, like I said. And man, the man is completely ripped. The man is completely bulked up. As far as muscle, packed on muscle, and is looking ready for the highly anticipated matchup with Darius Ugas, the WBA World Super Champion. And man, it's looking like it is going to be a beatdown coming from Errol Spence Jr. Everybody hollered they wanted the old Errol Spence Jr. back, and now you can expect the fact that he's back. He's back at 100%, and he's looking the same that he used to, that natural muscle that he just had when he was up and coming, when he was a hungry young lion. All that's back. This man is a man on a mission. And we knew that, man. We knew that after the car accident and that full situation. When he came into the ring with Danny Garcia, you could see that he was rebuilding. He was putting that muscle back on, but wasn't just quite ready yet. And still went in there and dominated Danny Garcia. That is a testament to how good and how much of a natural competitor this man is and how much better he is than his opposition. One of the reasons that I feel like, this man, Jaron Boots Ennis, as much as I got love, respect, admiration for Jaron, promise you I was one of the first people talking about him. As much respect as I have for him, I definitely do not think that he can beat Errol Spence Jr. I feel like Errol Spence Jr. has not presented us his full talent yet. I feel like nobody's brought that out of him yet, and it probably won't be brought out of him until he's at 154, 160 if he goes up that high. But he captions this whole picture: stay focused, don't get caught in the hype. Pretty much don't get caught in the situations going on outside. Y'all know all the talks about Jaron Boots Ennis, all the talks about him running from Terrence Crawford, all the legends pretty much downing him. He's saying don't get caught up in none of that. All the propaganda about him running away from the Manny Pacquiao fight, even though Ugas dominated that situation. Ugas' best attribute that Pacquiao could not go up against, and what I try to tell y'all, was the pure boxing ability. His best attribute, Errol Spence Jr. does that better. This man, Ugas, is an amazing body puncher, but Errol Spence Jr. does that better. Ugas has an amazing jab, but Errol Spence Jr. arguably has the best jab in boxing. So everything that Ugas does, Errol Spence Jr. does better. So it's one of those things, man, where we're going to see Errol Spence Jr. put on a world-class performance, one for the ages and one for people to remember throughout the test of time. He's making a statement with this one. And after this, he's going straight to Terrence Bud Crawford. And he's going to make a statement with that situation, then move up to 154. By that time, Jermell Charlo will be undisputed. Then undisputed Jermell Charlo will be moving to 160. Jermall Charlo moving to 168. And then that puts Errol Spence Jr. right in position, right there in the prime to go ahead and collect all 4 belts at 154. So, man, we're going to see something great happen from ESJ. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this down in the comment section. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move on. Believe that. Next up, we got the young buck and Darius Bazely. As his numbers continue to rise, he had a 3-point percentage fail, but he's still putting up big numbers per game. Dropped 22 last night, so shout out to Darius Bazely. Then we got to dive into Shai Gilgeous Alexander, as Shai Gilgeous Alexander has finally begun to figure out the NBA defenses. Shai has literally led the league in 30-point games in the last 10 games, top 5 in assists, top 3 in points, top 10 in steals, leads guards and blocks. Has a true shooting percentage of 63.4, which is highest amongst guards, scoring over 25 points per game, as well as averaging 31, 7, and 6 on 54, 39, and 81. To say the man has been going dumb is an understatement, honestly, man. The man has been playing incredible basketball. like historic basketball. And it's completely gone under the radar. You don't see ESPN talking about it. You don't see 24/7 Sports talking about it. And it's all because he's in OKC, which is a small market, and they don't have much television time. Last night against the Boston Celtics, he put up 31 points on 4 for 4 from 3 and literally dominated in his own way. But the shine last night got overshadowed mostly because of his young rookie co-star in Tre Mann, which we got to dive into as well, because the man put up 35 points and knocked down 7 threes on 13 of 21 shooting and showed that he has a future in his league to become an NBA scoring star. That's what his floor is, if you ask me. It's just a star, if not a superstar. This man has the offensive game to literally dominate any defense that's thrown at him. But let's check out a few highlights from Tre Mann. On this particular play, it was a bounce pass that came from Shai Gilgeous Alexander to Tre Mann in the corner. Tre Mann was already given too much room, so all he did was hit a little step back, and it created even more space to where the defense couldn't recover, and a beautiful release and nice soft touch helped him go ahead and knock the shot down. Look at that, man. That's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. And that step back is absolutely unguardable from Tre Mann. On this particular play, Tre Mann shows you fundamentals. The man Isaiah Roby is dribbling the ball up the court. The big man gets caught up, passes the bailout pass to Tre Mann. He does a one dribble pull up and just knocks down the easy jumper. They gave him way too much space. You cannot give a shooter like Tre Mann that much space. He is going to knock it down at least 9 times out of 10. That man is too good of a shooter. Too much space, he turned into Lil Wayne, Cash Money. On this one, the hustle man who's getting a lot of notoriety within the whole fantasy basketball world, Mr. Vic Krejci, literally steals the pass from the defense, and they give Tre Mann too much space once again. In my opinion, I think Brad Stevens was daring this man Tre Mann to shoot it, because Tre Mann has not been shooting all of that well. He is coming off a 22-point game where he shot very well, but he hasn't been knocking a shot down as of well lately. I think he thought that Tre Mann hit his rookie wall, so he dared him to go ahead and knock this down. Man, y'all giving him like 8 feet. That is ridiculous. He's still a pro. And with a few shots knocked down and a couple layups, now he has the defense completely spaced out and is feeling it. He gets the pass from Aaron Wiggins right here and just goes to work. Something nasty. Hits him with a nasty crossover. And y'all know Cash Money. Like, man, the separation and space that this man creates is next level. He has elite separation already, and he's still a rookie. That is ridiculous. Now, this one was probably my favorite. This is just one of those, my O is better than your defense. As he dribbles up, go ahead and hit the left to right crossover, steps back to stay on balance, and knocks down the J. This was just amazing. This kid is so talented. Honestly, I'm starting to think that these youngins are coming into the NBA a lot more talented, man, because this is a very advanced move. Right here, you're just going to see him bounce up and then do like a little skip. I'll see it right there, and then pull up into the shot. He did that skip to get on balance, man. And his balance is beautiful, man. It's Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Like, that's why I love this pick coming out of the draft, man. 2 Shays on one team, and he's more athletic, honestly. This one, he just does a little crossover, a little nasty, little mixing them up, and then little herky-jerky movements, put the shot down. And then this one, it just shows how much, faith they got in Tre Mann. Another one dribble pull up, fundamental, But this is the play I was talking about. This is how much faith they have in Tre Mann. And he's just been abusing Derek White all game. He got the last shot going into the half. They cleared out, created space for him. And he's just showing you his bag. He shows you everything that he has in the arsenal. Look at Derek White. He like, oh, man, this dude again, man. Y'all got me playing one-on-one with him, man. He been abusing me all night. That young kid is special. And this one, you're going to see him utilize the stop and go. This for basketball junkies right here. You love this move. And you could just see how much he's paying attention to the defenses and what OKC and Mark Dagnall is teaching him right now. Right here, he uses Shai's signature go around the defense, uses lateral speed to go around the defense, and literally just go straight to the rim. You see how he's breaking down the defense, paying attention to what they're giving him, and utilizing that to his advantage, man. I love to see it. That's his growth right there. That is his breadwinner right there. Understanding that he is a natural scorer. He has a natural knack for scoring. The fact that his three is so pure that he can literally get off whatever he wants to get off. He can go straight to the rim. He can use that athleticism to get a highlight reel dunk. Or he can do whatever he wants to. Drop the pass off. Y'all see this fan right here going dumb? Yeah, man, that's right. Tre Mann going dumb, man. Enjoy yourself. But we see him drop the pass off to Poku. It's only right we show his highlight. He been playing excellent as of lately. Shout out to Poku. He's showing his growth. And then it's only fitting we ended off with the pass to Darius Bazely and a beautiful spin move that is becoming his signature. That man, Darius Bazely, is a matchup nightmare for anybody on any given night because he has guard-like skills in a power forward's body as well, while being so athletic, agile, having the ability to do the little herky-jerky things. His quick twitch muscle fibers makes him literally an anomaly in a league full of anomalies. Like, it just does not make sense how this man moves the way he moves, the speed in which he runs the floor. That man is usually beating guards, back on defense. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Gotta love Darius Bazely. But it's only fitting I put the fan right here because he was having a good time seeing that man Tre Mann put on the show. And I most definitely was too. And if you was, make sure you dropping a like. Make sure you subscribing because we do content like this all the time. So go ahead and show your boys some love, man. Turn in post notifications on to all. That way you'll be notified every time we drop a video. Get on board because y'all know from 2022 until the end of time, we slaughtering these videos like it's a crime. So y'all better get behind this, family. You feel me, La Familia? But let me go ahead and dive into these closing statements on Tre Mann. Like I said, man, he's literally a prized possession. I feel like a very underrated player within the draft. He was looked at as the second best scorer in the draft. And I just felt like that was just inaccurate. James Bouknight was never a better scorer. I never thought he was a better scorer. Coming out of high school, Tre Mann was probably the best scorer of his year, as well as that first year, at Florida. He kind of was a little bit confused, but sophomore season, he got it together. He pretty much took leaps and bounds and became an NBA player. So going into the NBA, he should have been looked at as the better prospect because of the leap that he took from year one to year two. That's really what you want to see whenever you're evaluating a prospect, the potential that they have to grow, the potential that they have to be the player that you want them to be. James Bouknight didn't show us that, and he's still not showing us that out there in Charlotte. So he never should have been looked at as the best scorer. I didn't think he was a better shot creator than Tre Mann coming out of college. I didn't think that, his shot was better. He wasn't a better three-point shooter at all. He was not a better finisher around the rim at all. His separation, his ability to create separation, nowhere near Tre Mann's. So I just couldn't see how people thought that he could be a better player in the long run. Just didn't make any sense to me. But I do believe that James Bouknight will have an opportunity to average at least 20 points a game playing alongside LaMelo Ball in his pass-first mentality. So that is a good thing for James Bouknight. But on the flip side, you got the same situation with Tre Mann playing with Josh Giddey, playing alongside him in that situation. But it does bring into question, what is Josh Giddey's role the more Tre Mann grows, the more his offensive game grows? Because as we all seen, Shai Gilgeous Alexander is a legit 30-point per game scorer. He can do that. He can keep up this he can sustain this mountain that he's on right now, this climax that he's on right now. He's proven that. He's showing it to us. He can get 30 on any team on any given night. So we know that Shai is a legit scorer. He's going to be the number one always on the scoring side. So what does that mean for Tre Mann? Because OKC would be at its best if you allow Shai to be the number one scoring option, Tre Mann to be the number two, Darius Bazely number three, and I would say, you groom Aleksej Pokusevski to be that fourth option. You got to take the ball away from Lou Dort on the offensive side because you're pulling away from his defense. You're pulling away from his best attribute. Lou Dort has been slacking on a defensive end this year because he's been called to deliver more offense, and that ultimately expends more energy on the offensive side and takes away from his defense. So y'all got to pull that back. Josh Giddey should be a primary facilitator. That should be his role. Josh Giddey should not average over 10 points per game, 10 to 15 range. I really don't even like him at 15. I would say 10 points per game, 10 assists, maybe 7 rebounds. You just want him to be a floor general. That's it. That's all you want him to be. At his best, he should be able to, utilize that IQ to get everybody open looks. That's it. To help make the offense come easier and more natural to Tre Mann, Shai, Bazely, Poku. Those are your best scorers. You might get a better scorer in this year's draft, but overall, OKC, I feel like, is going to draft for a center, and I think that they should go for a defensive center. You have enough offensive firepower for the future. You got a good bench. Lindy Waters looks great. I like his shot. I like, his natural nag for, chasing down the ball. His rugged defense. I like Lindy Waters. Vic Krejci, he's a little bit of a great value, Lindy Waters, in my opinion. I didn't think Lindy Waters would be this great, but he is definitely great. Vic Krejci is a good defender. I give him a better defender, better ball handler, better than I expected. He's a pretty good little piece, but I don't know if he'll be there in the long run. Teo Maledon took a little step back. Teo Maledon, my bad. But Teo Maledon still has those traits that he could really bounce back and be a vital piece for this team in the future coming off the bench. Does have that Tony Parker-esque type of game, so you could see him actually popping out and being an important piece. I do like Aaron Wiggins. I think Aaron Wiggins' game is tailor-made to be that glue guy. He's an electrical spark coming off the bench, and he could be a threat to take anybody's spot in starting role, i.e. what we seen earlier in the year where he took Darius Bazely's spot. But his defense gives him the ability to plug him in from 2 to 3, but he can play small ball 4 as well. That man has a good game, man, especially to be picked up at the 55th overall pick. That was a steal, man. That was an underrated steal that the NBA is not paying attention to, man. Aaron Wiggins is very, very good. He's a very, very, very elusive player. If you go really watch him, man, it's just so fluid. His movements are so fluid. He's just nice, man. He's a nice young player, always knows where to be, always gets to his spot, doesn't really make the wrong moves, doesn't really turn the ball over. He's a veteran rookie. And I would say the same about Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, veteran rookie, good defender, knockdown three-point shooter. I like him as well, man. Hey, they got a lot of good pieces on this OKC Thunder team, man. This young Thunder team has a lot of good pieces. You still got to figure out what you're going to do with Mike Muscala. I think Mike Muscala stays here for the long run, end up accepting, another veteran minimum just to stick around the team and help groom these rookies and be a part of that championship team they build into the future. You can see him in a Nick Collison role where he ends his career here because he loves the culture so much. I really like Mark Daigneault. I think Mark Daigneault is a very, very intelligent coach. I said that from day one. Mark Daigneault's system is just beautiful. It's grooming. They called him a player development coach, but I really feel like Mark Daigneault is that coach that inspires these young players to be great. And that will build a culture of winning in itself. What we seen back with Scotty Brooks during the finals run that OKC had in 2011, 2012. We'll see that rerun happen again, man. So, man, like I said, man, a good young team. Tre Mann is definitely a steal of the draft. That number 18 pick, man, that was too low for him, man. A lot of people slept on him, and they are going to regret it. Steph Curry 2.0, Shai Gilgeous Alexander 2.0 with the athleticism of Anthony Edwards. I would give him that bounce, that pop. That man got bounce and pop. He's so athletic. Offensive game is just so beautiful. You just can't ignore it. You can't ignore what this man does. Still of the draft. I love it. I love this young man's game. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on it down in the comment section, though. I'm just babbling on at this point. So make sure you like. Y'all should have already wiped your feet when you came in the door. make sure you subscribe and shut that door. Make sure you lock the door by turning post notifications on to all. And drop a comment and show your boy some love, man, because that helps this video be recommended to a lot more people. So make sure you drop a comment, whether that's a 100 emoji, a strong arm, a thumbs down if you don't like the video. It does not matter. Just drop a comment and help a young brother grind, man. Let's get this grind going, kings and queens. And if you really gang, go ahead and share the video. You already know what it is. But with that being said, peace and blessings, kings and queens. I'm out. Believe.